At Ross, you'll find everything your kids need when they go back to school. From fashion to school supplies to dorm room decor, Ross has it all. Because it isn't just the first day of school for them. It's a new year, a new look, and endless possibilities. When they walk back through those school doors, they're a different kid than the one who walked out months ago, ready for anything. Back to school starts at Ross. Find your nearest Ross at rossstores.com.
Insurance isn't one size fits all. That's why customers have enjoyed Progressive's Name Your Price tool for years now. With the Name Your Price tool, you tell them what you want to pay, and they'll show you options that fit your budget. So whether you're picking out your first policy or just looking for something that works better for you and your family, they make it easy to see your options. Visit Progressive.com. Find a rate that works for you with the Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Hello, friends and Our Fake History listeners. We've got something a little bit different for you today from the BBC. If you're a fan of this podcast, then you know that some of the most fascinating questions from the ancient world don't have easy answers. There are few mysteries as enduring as the one surrounding Homer, the legendary poet credited with composing the Iliad and the Odyssey. With a new star-studded film adaptation of the Odyssey bringing Homer's world back to the big screen, it's the perfect time to share a teaser clip from our friends at You're Dead to Me. It's the BBC comedy podcast that takes history seriously, bringing together experts and comedians to explore the people, stories, and ideas that shaped our world. In this episode, host Greg Jenner and his guests dive into the world of ancient Greek epic poetry, revisiting the tales of Achilles, Odysseus, gods, monsters, war, and heroism. Along the way, they tackle one of history's most famous unanswered questions. Was Homer a real person or simply a convenient label for generations of storytellers before the tales were eventually written down? They'll also explore what these poems can tell us about the ancient world and why they continue to inspire books, films, and popular culture thousands of years later. I hope you enjoy this teaser clip. You're Dead to Me has just launched a brand new season, so if you like what you hear, you can find the full episode and much more by searching for You're Dead to Me wherever you get your podcasts.
Are we happy saying Homer wrote the Odyssey? Because, I mean, within there are sort of several questions. A, Homer, real guy. B, wrote? Is that the right verb?
First of all, wrote, probably the wrong one, because...
freestyle.
So, well, basically, yes. So this is where they started. So these poems started in an oral song culture where people would be, or you'd have bards who would be really specialising in this kind of topic, and they would be reciting what we call composing and performance. So they would be up there, a little bit like you described, kind of on the stage, in the festival, whatever it was, and they would be putting these sort of building blocks together. Now, eventually, over the centuries, those stories get handed down, and at some point they start becoming kind of performed, and they become fixed a little bit more for performance because at that point they're being recited. We then get a moment where in about the mid-6th century BCE, we've got a tyrant in Athens called Pisistratus who's really interested in kind of scripting and fixing these texts. And at that point, that's where they really start to become like fixed written texts. So it's like a gradual process of them being written down and fixed into what we now know as the Iliad and Odyssey today.
Maybe 200 years between the composition and the actual writing.
I'd say even more.
Oh, really?
So the roots of the oral epic go back to the 14th century BCE or earlier.
Right.
And the writing is probably around the 8th to the 6th centuries BCE that happened.
Okay.
So we've got hundreds of years of tradition and then hundreds of years of writing.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. Did Homer exist? Question mark.
The ancient Greeks definitely believed that Homer existed. I don't know if we want to take their word for it because they also believed that the gods and goddesses existed and that Zeus swallowed his wife. So, you know, maybe we're not going to take them too literally. But with Homer, they thought that there was this kind of one poet who wrote the Iliad and the Odyssey. For us today, I think we're thinking more of this as a tradition of multiple different itinerant bards who were really experts in their area. So when I like to think about it, I like to think about, instead of saying sort of the poet or he, I like to think of it as a collective tradition and say they, the poets. You know, this is a communal tradition.
So Homer's meant to be blind, right? He's meant to be the blind poet, Homer. and he's meant to be the Greeks believed he's the sole creator of these two poems.
Yeah.
Wait, so what's he writing about then? That's not stuff he's seen.
Well, this is kind of the point, because if you're blind, then you're kind of attuned to the power of a story and also to the influence of the muses, who were the goddesses of song, who were inspiring the bard. So this idea of kind of him being blind is very much him turning in and listening to the power of the word.
Wow.
Yeah, and I mean, the opening line is "Sing to me, O Muses," right? It starts by it's a song.
Yeah, well, in both of the epics, they start like that way. So we've got "Sing to me, Muse" in the Iliad, and then in the Odyssey, we've got "Tell me, Muse." So both of them very oral, spoken, and that's gesturing to the fact that they were originally sung, accompanied by a lyre. And you've got this muse who is the goddess of song, or one of 9 goddesses of song, and is imagined to kind of inhabit the bard and relay to him all of the knowledge that he doesn't have.
You're listening to this podcast, so I know you've got a curious mind. Here's a helpful fact you might not know yet. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $900 on average. Pop over to Progressive.com, answer some questions, and you'll get a quick quote with discounts that are easy to come by. In fact, 99% of their auto customers earn at least one discount. Visit Progressive.com and see if you can enjoy a little cash back. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $946 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2024 and May 2025. Potential savings will vary.